Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Slipways, where today, it's the same thing. Today we're doing the same thing as yesterday. Listen, you know what it is. This isn't your first time here. Unless it is your first time here, in which case, hi, hello. We're doing the same thing as yesterday, so go watch that video to find out what it is. We are still pursuing our 30k on tough, and I found a sector here that I think is going to be a little bit easier, potentially. And I know what you're saying. You're looking at this and you're thinking, but SB, I don't like sand. It's coarse, it's rough, it's irritating, it gets everywhere. And I'm right there with you. I don't like sand either. Don't even get me started on younglings. But I do like both of those things more than I like not being able to get robots off of Remnant Worlds. Dry sand has the same score modifier as the robot problem, but it's just more desert and arid planets. Like, one of those is already even a useful type of world, right? This has got to be easier. And then, of course, we got our technology focus, as you might expect. So, first things first, Vittori, are you coming through? They are kind of coming through. This is, Okay, so quantum sensors, obviously, I love. Infrared detection, we found out, is pretty good. Quantum computing, machine sentience. We're swearing off the teleporters. We swore an oath, all right? And then Ascension. I gotta tell you, not feeling like they're super powerful here, actually. I wonder if maybe quantum computing seems so good for a technology focus, but yeah, I wonder. Let's have a look at what everybody else is bringing. So the Euphorians have geo-harvesting, which of course is a wonderful safety net. I love flexible fabrication. Trade League is probably good. Sleep replacement is great. Post-scarcity is potentially a little bit of a trap. Not in the sense that it's a bad tech, but just a trap for me specifically because I get that tunnel vision about it. The Bakar have... Okay, solar superconductors is compelling. They have the solar farm option on the planet types that we are going to see a lot of, so they're probably in. Gravitic mining... Dimensional anchoring. Honestly, this is probably pretty good. Like, as I was saying a couple of episodes ago, a pretty significant percentage of your total cash output over the course of a game is slipway building. So I wonder how much you would actually save. Plasma containment's very good. They're full on energy mode this time, which is lovely. Monoliths are maybe good. They're certainly good if you're abusing the teleporters. And Explorers is a pretty good perk. It's a lot of money over the course of a game. Miners is probably just a lot less gold, or a lot less money than Explorers is. And the Dender, I mean, Prosperity, right away, pretty hard to argue with. Disease Eradication, yeah, this is strong. Genesis Cells and Biome Reconstruction and Universal Harmony. And boy, Prosperity is good, you know? And then freeze-resistant bots, biohybrids. Okay, I gotta say, this is not bad, but I'm having a hard time imagining the Silthid in here. I think the biggest problem that the Silthid have is that their tasks are really annoying. And so they have to play into your gimmick pretty significantly. Like, I hate it when you play Silthid and you get like, the first task they give you is increase chips by 4, and then the second one they give you is increase chips by 7, and then the third task they give you is like increase chips by 10, and it's like, what am I gonna do with all of these? What use could I possibly have? So I think we do want you, and then like the question is, do we actually use the Vittori? Because if we go Euphorians, we have flexible fabrication and geo-harvesting. Yeah, okay. If we're gonna take Explorers as our way of generating money in the early game, early quantum sensors is probably really valuable, even more valuable than normal in terms of like saving us time and giving us good decision-making skill, or giving us the elements necessary for good decision-making, I guess is a better way to put that, because as you've seen before, I can still definitely make the wrong decision. And then, like, quantum computing is so powerful. So, like, we do it like this, then? I think this could work. This could be the one. Maybe. We'll see. So we just gotta stay focused here. We gotta make sure we're getting lots of money per planet, lots of trade routes per planet. Gotta keep things, multifarious. Also, at some point here, I am gonna have to bail. It'll be I was gonna say it'll be a brief interruption. It will be an instant interruption for y'all, but I'm just gonna have to deal with a delivery. So, because of the way that Explorers works, we want to get as many large signals grouped together in each pulse as we can. But also, I hate leaving information out on the edges. Let's start here. All right, do love to send out a $3 probe and have it come back with information and also $9. So we could get these. This is probably fine. Okay. Probe was free in any case. Okay, so we're seeing some habitables here. There's stuff to work with. Now, unfortunately, I've left us in a situation where we have no good probes left. Well, it was 2 worlds, but Desert Iceball is not very compelling. So I will say this, I'm looking at this and I do not yet really see a comfortable start for us. Yeah, because you can't reach the water world. This is a jungle rather than a swamp, so the biomass and water option is robot-based. We could get a robot, but I think we actually do need to see what these worlds around the edges are. Okay, well, that's not exactly what I was looking for. All right, that does sort of bend my desire in a certain direction, I suppose. And that's just an arid. Okay, well, can I put down a colony on Poltergeist 5? Also, who would choose to live on a world that we call Poltergeist 5? I mean, we got the minerals right there. I guess one thing that we can do... So we could put down the colony here. We have a 2-way trade for the mineral right there. We can explore upward a little bit, and if it doesn't work out, we can just have this world produce food from biomass, put down a people world here, make robots off the remnant world, send the robots to the jungle to produce the things. That's biomass out for the food and water for Sweeney 2. That does not get food for this world, though. So we're closing up one problem and adding a bunch of pretty decent trades, but creating a new problem entirely. But maybe we'll just get lucky and there'll be something of value up here, and also maybe this will actually be good. I think that is my play. Can these... Okay, those are in range. If we blew this up, we would be able to connect those. So actually, maybe it's better to just produce the food here. Well, no, because we would be able to bring the food down here, but then we wouldn't have water for the arid world. Yeah, that's rough. Okay. So that's a primordial. So all right. So we just got it. Sorry, provided that those connect. Yes, okay, they do. That's actually really close. But yeah, so we have a biomass food triangle. Let's not execute it until the beginning of the year, though, just that we see what our council members want from the quests. So get a people-producing planet to successful, get a mineral-producing planet to successful, or find 3 science. So, like, what technologies are we going after in the mid-game? Because like this early game stuff, we have to imagine we're going to get a lot of this before we have access to tech discounts. Obviously, there's the Vittori stuff we'll be grabbing through the mid game. There's some Bakar here and some Dender there. It's kind of an even mix of everybody as we move up. We definitely want to make sure we finish the Dender discount though. This is going to be pretty close to successful right away. We just have to find a source of goods. Can it reach that? No, not even kind of. Okay. So we go for that mineral planet instead of this one. All right, so this task is actually 100% finished already. And then I would love to get the Vittori option, but I just don't... I don't think we're going to be doing this anytime soon. You know, I don't really want to set up my first lab before we get our economy online, so let's take that. We could probably make that happen. So let's just go ahead and get this figured out. I guess I should... Sorry. We should figure out what this is first. Okay, that's a good technology. Or we could just get $21, which, you know, there's a desperation move here. But honestly, I would like wave augmentation. That would be cool. All right, and then we do a two-way trade for this. Yeah, and like this is, by itself, this is almost going to make this world successful. All right, so there's the Dender task. Then we just need this to be a world that produces water. So we could do a people world here, benefit from the goods, do the water, two-way trade for water, and then send water over there. But I would be a little leery of doing that without being certain that we will actually be able to supply the food. Oh, well, that's a remnant world. Yeah, so we can just do robots and... Yeah, actually, that's good. And then that world's going to want more water. It seems pretty solid, actually. So let's just go ahead and let's start with this. We'll do the water thing. We'll connect that. Clear the task. Colonize new planets of 8 different types. I'm into it. I mean, that designated area is not that far away from that arid world that we were talking about. And this world, once it is food producing, it can feed the arid world. What was my plan for... Oh, right, we're going to do robots for the water. Yeah, you know, that's not bad. I do want to do science, but like I really think we want to wait a little, just a little bit on that. So yeah, let's finish setting this up. Out of money all of the time. I guess we are going to have... So my plan was to make this a robot world and get the water I need that way. But like this as a chip world allows that to be successful. Do I maybe want to change up my plan here a little bit? You know what? That's not what I'm focusing on right now. That's not even what we're doing right now. Just trying to farm a little bit of money here out of scouting because I am broke. We're gonna need a little bit more than that. Yeah, it's really easy to run out of money at the beginning of the game. Unfortunately, none of these are all that likely to be dense with planets. Yeah, there's a fair amount of that's going to happen. Okay, well here's a world that wants to be a people world. It wants to feed back to there. Granted, I don't want to settle a second arid world right away. All right, this'll take us over to a new year at least. Get a little bit of cash from our budget, and then we can continue exploring this way and. Yeah, wow, I really want this to be a chip world. It's so good if it's a chip world, actually. And then also, if it's a chip world, it can feed chips into this desert to make it into an energy. Yeah. That's the plan. Okay, is it the plan right now? We just went over a threshold, so it's not really very costly to add more worlds for a little bit here. I mean, this is that's a big expensive move. How far are we? Far. Pretty far, actually. Yeah, and it's really hard to reach any further down. So yeah, if we make this the people world, then we can actually touch that. And all right, let's make this happen. Connect you here. That at least lets me blow up this asteroid for a little bit of cash. And then we're not going to be able to do very much at all. So connect this down there, connect this up here. Look at all the success. Look at all that success we're having. Do I want to run this across here? Because that blocks this in. I guess it's already got enough routes in and out. So yeah, I don't think it's such a big deal. I think it's probably okay to block that in. God, this big void is a real problem. Also, how am I going to get water? Yeah, okay. I'm actually, I'm feeling a little bit concerned here about our ability to generate science. Wow, really? Okay. I need worlds. Controversial stance here. Hot take. Slipways hot take. Sometimes you need like a world to be on. I mean, I better make sure that we get that. Okay, this Bakar task is turning out to be impossible. There are no things anywhere for us to make the jump from. Okay, so we can do food and water. I guess this is 100% habitable. We know this is safely habitable. And I guess I just have to reach out. Like we just got to get these tasks done. When we do this, they'll give us a bunch of money. That will be tremendously helpful. Can't afford, because of course not. Why would I be able to afford a thing? Who could afford a thing in this economy? I ask you. We can blow some stuff up. We're so close. We're so close. Okay. All right, so there's my task. And that does, in fact, allow us to get the quantum sensors. We are 6 of 8 on our other task. And now we gotta start sort of like reeling things back in here. Oops, tabbed out of the game, sorry. Yeah, we're way later in the game than I would like to be for not having any science income. We're going to get 4 more science in a second here. What do we still need? So what's not on the list? Remnant worlds are not on the list. No, sorry, they totally are. Earth-like, ocean, and swamp are all not. Yeah, so do we have access to some of those? Also, at this point, we can look around over very large groups of signals and maybe get a little bit luckier than that, at least. Jesus. Okay, well, we found a swamp and an earth-like together, so we're probably cool. I would love for this to be a chip world. So we're going to have to find a way to get food here because I can't just run people off of this world over to there. But honestly, the way we get food here could be energy-based. Wow. It's a sparse galaxy outside of the very small area that we started in. things are grim out here. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just push this button. I'm not even going to bother with that yet. Okay. All right. So we got it then. We do a Gaia world into food. So let's do the Gaia world, get our tasks cleared. Do love to have $1. Would you like to increase the total production of minerals by 11 units? No, probably not. One more food-producing planet to prosperous. Well, this one's not that far off. We can make this happen. And a remnant planet to successful. This one's also like that thing running across there is going to really help with both of these, but I really don't think we can afford to spend that chip until after we create energy here. Then it's open season, and I think a lot of stuff's going to fall into place at once. And that means I need to finish a damn lab. Hold on. We gotta actually do this. So let's do this thing. We know we're doing this stuff. God, Slipways. Why are they so expensive? Who designed these things? Okay. So, one option I am seeing over here is potentially like a mineral lab. Over here we have a mineral world and a couple of remnants too. Dollars. Oh, does that really not connect? If this world could get people to that world, it's so perfect and easy. That is a real crying shame. Is it just occlusion? Yep, it is. Very, very slightly occluded. Like, definitely not actually occluded. All right. Because, like, it's going to be 3411 before we get science income for the first time, and that's really not acceptable. I did not focus hard enough, and it's going to be really, really bad for us. Can you reach that? Nope. You can only feed this one. Well, that's okay. The other people on here will become the researcher. So something like this. And then we gotta get minerals out of these. You know what? I'm not even going to figure out how we're gonna do that yet. I'm just gonna put them down because we need the science income that badly. I am a single point of science away from where I need to be. Give me that science. Interesting. We'll look at that later. Give me this immediately. Okay, so how do I want to do the setup here? Because we could just send the energy right back. You need one more import or export, and you'll probably never get another one. But you cannot reach Robot World. Well, you know what? It will get another one because culture, right? Eventually we will have culture on the worlds connected to it. So I am going to send this back like this. And then that will allow me to do this. And then this world is a biomass short. Shoot, I forgot about the biomass. Well, you know, We have a solution for that. That'll work out just fine. Biomass. Okay, and we're doing okay on income right now, but we are one planet short of another administration cost increase, so we got to be a little cautious. I would love to invent 2 new technologies. I think we're well on our way toward that, and then I also would love to do this. That sounds great. Okay, so we are going to need some robots if we're going to keep doing this increase stuff. Maybe, though, my primary concern for the moment should be this stuff. So, if I send, like, people here, they could go up there and make robots to help provide us with food. People from here are going to have just a little tiny bit of trouble getting the water that they need. And because I want to send food across like this, it means we can't use minerals to produce the robots there. But if this was robots, then it could produce water from here. Alternatively, we do have an energy potential here. You know what? Let's get just a little bit more information. Now that's a tough one. Oh, I forgot about wave augmentation. Do we want wave augmentation? Do we need it? So what am I taking next? Well, what I'm taking next should probably be quantum computing. I need to get another lab up. Yeah, our science output is still bad, for sure. Okay, well, if I do Waterworld, we could maybe try to set up a water lab somewhere out here. Okay, that's compelling. So, how do I do it, though? If I put it here... Okay, it looks like there's no place where I can get this world and this world and this world all connected to it without cutting off the ability for this world to do... Well, I guess it could be over here. Yeah, that's not too bad, because we're not drawing a line between these two worlds. This world's feeding in food. This world's robot to thing somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do that. It's going to be energy based, right? Like it's going to have to be. That's like very doable though, actually. That problem solves itself. Okay, let's set it up. And it gives me a reason to increase the energy output of the system by 2. So, this feeds in. This turns to a water world. Hold on. Don't go anywhere yet. I might need that point of water. So that produces a bunch more of that. Now, we are really not making any money anymore. We do this. Connect. Connect. Okay. Then we make this a solar farm. We make this a chip world. And this a robot world. Send robots here and there. And then we could just send the energy back here and it would solve that problem right there. But... Oh, am I? Wow, I'm out of money and I have no income. Okay. We got a couple of decent asteroids at least. Yeah, moving across a size threshold really hurts. What is the upkeep on like energy producing worlds? Oh, it's not even that bad. And then, you know, we can run this out here and this out here just for additional trade income, just trying to make sure we have some money to work with. And I guess we need to know, is it going to be feasible for me to get people and or minerals from out here? Yeah, pretty sure we have to take that. And now we're on 12 science at 3415, which is like okay, but I would really like to have more than 3 techs by now, ideally. Yeah, this did not really work out the way I was hoping. So, okay, if we don't take wave augmentation now, though, we're not going to get it. It hasn't really been much of an issue, has it? So it would allow me to run robots from here. Well, only to one of those worlds, so maybe that's not even worth doing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm honestly torn on whether I should take that. I guess we can't get self-hosting AI next either way. So the question is, like, it's wave augmentation versus energy-driven industry. And energy-driven industry is definitely good for us. Okay, so it looks like I am not going to be able to provide either minerals or people. Oh, wow. I was really expecting one or the other of those things would be feasible. Well, you know what solves this is the the augmentation, although then I have to figure out how to get people to that. So we need this energy to be going in 2 different places then. Yeah, and there just isn't very much I can do about that, unfortunately. Well, we do have plasma containment coming up. So I could run this across to here and then do some water stuff over here to fix it. I don't really want to run the energy across here because I would love to be able to use this chip to successfulize that world. But I guess, I mean, it's worth stars. We're never going to get it to prosperous, and it's not going to help the stuff in this area enough for it to matter. But even so, it is still actual stars, right? And it's extra trade income. Really does feel a lot better to do this. So it's going to be a minute before we have our next technology. I really am not building another lab right now. So let's work on producing some more energy for our other task. So I think that means we want to make this into this thing. You know, there's a spot where the wave augmentation would in fact be relevant. Although, of course, we could just turn this world into an energy world and feed the goods need that way. Right, you actually are not connected to enough friendly neighbors. You're going to do a culture thing. This world needs water, but we'll never get it. I'm trying to figure out how we are actually going to develop some of this space. I have no idea. May as well just do that. Let's make sure we have as much income as we can get from trade inside of the Empire here. We don't ever have an ability. Oh no, I guess we have Starbirth for ice ball planets. We could eventually turn that into something, although it still wouldn't be able to connect to this. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I made the wrong move here. I was just thinking in terms of like making sure we are securing additional monetary gain, but it's pretty desperate either way. I think that sort of characterizes all of our options at this point, though. It's all feeling a little desperate. So we could do some energy stuff over here. Right, this world can chip. And then we could do energy. Because if we need 3 more energy, we have to do 1 more world all the way up, and then we have to upgrade one of these 2, or we have to do 2 new worlds. And I guess 2 new worlds is not so bad. So we could use this to feed that. This is just an Earth-like over here. We could just start setting up, like we have this food. We just start setting up in that direction. You know what? Show me what's over here. Wow, nothing. Okay. If there had been a people supporting world in here, then like food out, this in gets us a bunch of success. And as such, a bunch of income, which we are absolutely desperate for at this point. Yeah, I'm looking at all of our options here and trying to figure out the long-term plays, and the fact is, I just do not see, like, any way forward, if I'm being honest. I think I am going to go ahead and take wave augmentation. I think there are enough cases here where it might be useful, but then again, if we're perpetually broke, we can't use wave augmentation anyway, because the cost of the slipway rises extremely sharply, like the per foot cost, after the initial indicated distance. So it's probably not even worth doing. So if we had a chip world over here somewhere, we have this and we have robots for it already. Maybe we want to explore this way. I am inclined to just put this down. Let's make this 2-way trade, get that world flipped. I guess it doesn't really help me to do that just yet. All right, pretty great outcomes. Not actually a source of food. So do I want to save up for energy-driven industry? I mean, we'll be able to get it, like, right now. Okay, that world at least can produce food. So if this world sends out a robot, it will immediately generate another robot. Yeah, I think let's go ahead and do this. And then connect here. I do, in fact, just want to gather everything I could use on that, I'm pretty sure. Take energy-driven industry. That gets us 8 science toward self-hosting AI, which is, of course, very important to us. And then, sadly, this world has very poor approaches to any other world. So we can do like robot and chip feeding the desert type stuff over here. One thing I suppose we could do is we could make this a mineral world. Send minerals to both here and here to produce robots and chips. This is the robot one, so it can feed more inputs into that. And then also we have the minerals into that. And then the two of those together can create 2 energy at this desert, and we can, you know, satisfy the goods and then something else. That's a pretty big play, and it's going to add a lot of upkeeps. But also, we kind of like... We do kind of need to keep doing stuff like that. So you need... Oh, you are connected to enough worlds already. Oh yeah, once again, this is probably a problem that will be solved with culture. Gosh, culture's a good solution to problems. What are we labbing for here? I'm looking at this one person left over and this one robot left over and wondering if we should just plug in a really bad robot lab. Just because of the fact that that we're about to have all of this bonus science. Like, I actually think I want to. I know that it's going to hurt the money, but that is going to leave me 1 point of science short of self-hosting AI, though. That is a real shame. Yeah, I think it's worth it, though. Well, hold on a second. Maybe I want to save it, though. If it's not going to get us self-hosting AI any sooner, if we're just talking about a delay of 3 points of science, maybe we hold off on it until we see what our next tasks are, and maybe, you know, we'll get a task at some point to turn a remnant world prosperous. We may want to be able to fire off at that moment. So okay, let's do this thing over here. This is a thing worth doing. So this is the earlier part. Chip go here. Robot also go here. Connect that to there, feed this in. Okay. Or wait, I was gonna do a people world, wasn't I? Was that how I wanted to feed into that? It's probably better to do it that way. So let's erase this. We don't know for sure that we have water for this. Should probably try to make sure. Okay, we do. Yes, let's do it that way. So it gives me more movement here. Can this really not? Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't take the augmentation. Boo. Well, we can still do this. Yeah, it's fine. Can't afford. How dare you? How dare you tell me what I... Wow, I'm really broke. Okay, so we're getting worlds successful out here. I'm trying my absolute damnedest. There we go. Still only plus 17. Like we're not gonna be able to run this route anytime soon, which really hurts. And when I finish this, I won't even make any money. Okay, so what we need to do really is just find one more world up here that I can send Chip to produce energy. Right, yep, there it is. We just do that to move tasks forward. All right, invent 3 new technologies. We absolutely will before the end of the game. 2 more mineral producing worlds to prosperous sounds doable to me. So you don't have water. You'll never have water. But like this one's pretty close actually. In fact, this one's just a successful neighbor. Yeah. Okay, so that's totally gonna happen. We can make this happen. And then 3 new technologies. Yeah, okay, so... Desperate for cash. It's funny how bad the money always gets, isn't it? Still need one more technology to move up. And this time around, we do not have a cash-in technology for a huge amount of dollars thing available to us either. Well, let's do that. That direct connection is way too long. Here, this is worth a small amount of dough, and then I really need to run this route here. What's this going to cost? 23 by itself, plus settlement fees. And we do not have a lot of, here we go, a lot of high-value asteroids. I think it's pretty important we get this established, though. Nope, that's a 0. I would love to see more connections. All right, I think 1 is the best we're going to do for right now. We could go get this. Does it actually serve a purpose, though? I don't think so. Hey, that would be pretty good. I should probably do that. That seems that seems all right. Where am I going to get the money, though? So actually, all I have to do is send this back home. Do I want to do that? Hold on a second. I'm gonna do another probe or two here. We're gonna try to get some information and also get lucky and make money on the probes. Ooh, boy. Okay, did not accomplish. Failed to golf. Well, yeah, I'm just going to send this energy back. Let's get that first prosperous and then try to find the second one. So this world's got to be real close. Okay, you need an import or export. We do need to move. Does it make sense to get Genesis cells? Is there... Okay, there's an immediate value spot. Oh, right. This is still a problem. Yeah, that's still a problem for which we have currently actually no solution. Yep, there's no way we will ever get people over there. So we kind of have to take plasma containment in order to resolve this issue. And then I have to figure out how I'm going to afford plasma containment because that's like wildly expensive. What does it take after the water? It's water and then something. So I think what I'm going to do is also get Genesis cells, I guess. Like we do need the Genesis cells on top of that. Ugh, man. Connecting here was good. We have been desperate for money, and so making less money would not really have helped us all that much. But we are in dire straits. And anything we do to try to help is just going to push us into the next empire size and make our income probably actually negative. So that's pretty tough. Let me untake that technology. Use robot as people. Yes, I believe we're taking use robot as people for the first time ever. Because otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to solve this. You know, at this point, I should probably just go ahead and grab this because we're not going to be able to use wave augmentation. So that's a source of money that I was forgetting about. Yeah, okay. You know, if it solves the problem. And then that gives our robot worlds some other things they can do, potentially, although I don't know, like... This is going to have the same problem it always has, where, like, you have people and you don't have robots. Almost always. I guess it potentially lets me use this Forge world to actually seed some of these planets with other resources, which is kind of fun. But, like, what if I just chip? What if it's just chip world and it makes that happen? I don't know what that would even do. We're gonna turn this into an energy world, and then what? How does that help us? All right. After a significant period of study, I have determined the answer to my earlier query. It doesn't help us. At all, in fact. All right, so we need one more. I mean, I just run that across. That's how we fix that. I was saying we could fix that with culture, but also we can fix it this way. So this world will, if we buy Genesis cells and then we do the culture thing, that'll be enough to make this world successful, which will make this world prosperous. We have a fair number of like leveled up worlds. I'm a little bit surprised at how bad our money is, given how many prosperous worlds we already have on the table. But I guess we also have these large stretches of merely established planets. That does hurt a lot. We have a little tiny bit of income again, though. So what can we use it for? Here, let me get a little bit more information about what's going on over here. Okay, that's not super compelling, actually. All right, what if we make this mineral chip? We send a chip down here for energy. We use energy to buff this world up. It produces more stuff, and then we don't actually... I was kind of thinking about like a lab or something, but honestly, I'd be a little leery of pushing a lab at this point. As things stand right now, we're gonna get what, 90 total? Wow, actually, yeah, our science output's bad. We're gonna get a total of 90 science to work with, which does let me buy Harmony plus like Genesis cells. And that's it. A little bit more science would also get us plasma containment. And remember, that's not just about capability. That's also about getting another technology and thus having 300 more stars. We could set up a crappy little lab out here studying, like, what are we, currently we're studying water and minerals, and that's it, actually. So there's got to be a place where we could do like chip research or something. I guess we could put a crappy little lab right here. Just run those people out. I mean, it's not meaningless, right? With the two boosts, that would be a 5 science per year lab. It's actually quite a lot. Oh no, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit in the tiny little spaces. Okay, you're never going to upgrade anyway. We can just do it over here. It's wild that these worlds are already so successful. Oh, come on. Give me a break. Why is everything got to be so expensive? So that's going to be 13. We probably can't even make it to 13 this year. I can try to get lucky with... Because I don't even... Do we have any asteroids that actually score us anything? I don't think we do. Ah. We try to get lucky with a probe. Nope, that works. 5 extra science this year. Hooray! So now we're going to get 84 more science on top of our 31, leading us to 105, 115. So that's gonna let me get universal harmony plus these two. I think that's probably the best way for us to score this out. I'm trying really hard not to push up to 40 because I don't think we could take the financial hit. We're gonna have to toward the end, probably. So that being the case, I may as well start picking these up now, right? There's no reason to wait on these, really. So let's grab plasma containment and start working. Like, I know that these things are expensive, but also they're going to help me level up these worlds. So it takes in water and chip. Well, that honestly could not be better for us. So what do you need? You need friendly planets to level up. So if we send power back, that's pretty strong. We send power down here and obliterate the need for water. But I think the smarter move is to send this here and just Genesis cells our way through that. That'll flip this world to successful. Hold on. This world is also desperate for another point of resources. And this world's going to get culture. So it'll be culture in, water out. And that'll still leave it with one point unspoken for, though. Well, if I do this, though, we can actually generate more. We can build more plasma, or more fusion plants if we wanted to. So all you need is for this neighbor to flip. I mean, that's pretty good scoring over there. Oh, right, because you're only connected to 2 of these planets because of how the game works, right? Because of the game rules and everything. Still pretty good. What am I talking? So we just connect this directly. What am I talking about Genesis cells for? Actually, no, the Genesis cells will still be really good, though, because this world needs one more import, and it will get it, and this whole cluster is going to flip over. It's beautiful. It's beautiful stuff. Okay, so Genesis cells next year? Next year. Where else can we improve our score? I need biomass for that world, and that's the only thing really holding it back. I cannot run that. And that world will never produce more water than it is currently producing. We do not have chips around here. Oh, I'm like hard broke. I'm $0 broke. Do I have a single asteroid that can generate money anywhere? Can you generate money? No. Stupid, useless station. Oh dear, I think the answer to do I have a single asteroid that can generate money anywhere is no. 0. Listen, the question was a Boolean. 0 is an acceptable answer. I understand what is meant by that. Okay, yeah, I do think we just have to pass the year, which feels really awful. Give me them cells. All right. Vittori technology discounted. Huzzah! Increase the number of prosperous planets by 4. You bet. Make a 7 science Vittori lab. Or make a 7 science biomass lab. I don't know why I said the word Vittori there. Maybe? Maybe. Because we could get biomass in a couple of places, and it doesn't take very much to get a lab to 7. It's 2 input resources and a researcher. I would love to. I don't. We have 1 source of biomass here, and it's not going to be easy to get it covered by another one. We could do a Genesis cells, but I honestly don't see what the value of it would be, because we can't get a researcher in there anyway. I think I'm just gonna take this one. But we can do this. For 4 additional prosperous worlds is pretty much guaranteed, right? So I'm gonna do that. We're gonna go ahead and send the water down here. So now all this world needs is for that world to flip over, which it will when it receives a culture. Yeah. That will be enough, right? No, wait a minute. It's running it's running 3 routes right now. So yeah, the cultural flip this to successful. It will not make it prosperous. We need another in or out. Having second thoughts about my lab, you know? Okay. Undo? What if this? The answer, of course, to what if this is you do not have any money. If that, then broke is how the rest of that runs. Oh, and you're not touching a people world. You will not get your extra import or export. Oh, that's very sad. You just need biomass. It's really breaking my heart that we can't figure out how to do the biomass. Well, okay. It's going to push me past the threshold, but we can do it. So if we did... What's the right way to approach this? Because we have a world that can be converted into energy mode. We have 2 worlds that can be converted into energy mode. So we could do chip world, chips. One of these feeds back the energy to make the chip world run in the first place. Then we do robot world. No, that doesn't quite work because I end up just sending up a robot and trading back in energy, and it doesn't change anything. So like it's pretty easy to get biomass in. It doesn't also get us the goods, which I would really love if we could figure out a way to do that. It's not so easy though. There's still all this stuff. I mean, it always ends up being, to some degree, a prioritization problem, right? Which is why I do such a bad job. So getting more energy doesn't actually help you. So do I want to do this in I guess it's not going to matter then. Because what we're going to do here, right, is just feed water into a fusion plant and then get the energy right back out. It's going to produce an extra water on this world that we can send somewhere. And then this world will have, effectively, we will have paid to buy an extra import. Which is expensive, but it's also the only way we're going to flip this, and flipping that is necessary for flipping this. Well, that are making this world successful, but I think that's a little bit less attractive for a couple of reasons. Because this world cannot be prosperous. It just doesn't have the neighbors for it. So do I want to do that? It is going to be my whole year's income. I'm just trying to make sure, like, there's so much stuff that's going to get done immediately when we have culture. We still might want to do this just because it does flip that world over. And we don't have any other realistic way of doing that. I cannot snake the biomass around. We have none of our cheating technologies. Spatial cheating technologies. And if I had my science under control a little bit earlier, we could totally just have Starbirth and be fine. We can have Starbirth right now, but it would have cost us a technology, which obviously is a lot of points. It's a lot of points. Yeah, and we will never have a way of sending you another input. Well, I guess that's not true. I can do the same thing with this world. Oh no, sorry. This world needs to be connected to more worlds. We have no way of doing that. So we would need robots or energy. We could connect you to more things that produce energy, but not worlds. Okay, sad. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and build this. Feels very silly, but is very effective. Okay, and then now... Oh, right, you have to be connected to a world. How am I so spacey? How's that happen, you think? So, energy or... Well, let's undo this then. As fun as it is to see that very long chain of resources. Yeah, no, this stuff is true, but you also just are not connected to 2 happy worlds, or 3 happy worlds. I wish there was some way to connect these 2. All they need is each other, and you know, I want to see them realize that. I think that it would be a beautiful thing for them. The thing I really want to do then is set up an energy world somehow, such that these worlds both feed into it, and that cannot happen. So this is as good as this is getting then. This world gets its culture, becomes successful, that flips this world to prosperous, and that's as good as that's getting. So let's work somewhere else. You're prosperous upon receipt of culture. You will never be, you will be if we do that thing, which we can totally do. What are you missing? You just need your neighbors to be happier. Better neighbors is a little judgmental. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good place to output mineral. Yeah, your neighbors being happier is a non-trivial problem, actually. Let's see, we do have the ability to feed energy in. But that world can't reach that world. I was thinking we could set this up as an energy place, get chips from here and robot from there. But I had to feed energy to this world first, which is not trivial. All right, let's just go ahead and do this thing because we know we are going to do it. So it is going to hurt my income. Oh, it's so colossal. Oh, sorry, hold on a second. I have to do this in a different order. The chip has to go here first, then we send it back here, then we do this. That allows this world to not be miserable while feeding this world. And then... Trying to figure out if there is in fact a way, because you have... Yeah, if we fed robots into either one of these worlds and connected them here, that would be the 3rd successful neighbor. This planet would flip. And then and then we're set, right? Because we have 2 other worlds that will flip over when we buy the culture thing. It's not as many total prosperous worlds as I would like, if I'm being honest with you. So I guess one thing we can do is we can just hope that there's a source of minerals or something down here. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way that we could... Oh, no, we're fine. Well, I may not have the money to pull it off, but I do know what the play is. So then we turn this into one of these, and the idea is you connect this to here, run the minerals up to there, and yeah, like that's what it is. The question is just, how do I get enough money to do that? Because we are actually going to receive no money at the beginning of this next year. I think the answer is there's nothing to be done about it. So how much money do I need in total? I need 18 plus 14. We're not going to get that. We're not going to get that much money over the course of the entire rest of the game is a problem. Oh, actually, I need more than that because I also need to do this, but doing this will get me some income. So yeah, there's that. That's something. So yeah, but now I need $36 and I'm going to get to 34 and not a single one of these goddamn asteroids is going to do anything to help me. Can you believe it? The absolute of it. Oh, you know what? Sorry. Oh, that's right. We don't fire universal harmony until after our last income. I was going to say the culture is going to get me a bunch more money. Also, we're single dollar short of, or a single science dollar short of culture, and that sucks. Is there a connection that I can make anywhere to produce a little bit of extra dollars? A little bit of extra cash is a tiny... Okay, hold on. Let me back this up. We can actually probably just do this in a different order and have it be fine. Like if I just do this part. Now we're at plus 29 because I didn't settle this world yet. We just don't settle the world yet because we're currently not paying upkeep costs on it. We settle it after the beginning of 3425. It sucks that we have to wait that long, but we do in fact have to wait that long, and I think I just do nothing until 3425 then. Pretty sure that that's how that has to go. Okay. Beautiful. And that it doesn't actually matter where this energy goes, I guess. In either place, it will make a successful world, and that's all it will do. So, I mean, you know, points. Yeah. Okay. So then we buy the... Nope, is that? Yeah, Universal Harmony. And we distribute some culture. This goes there. This goes there. Task is completed. Definitely not doing any of that stuff. I have $20 whole. I could build like a short slipway. So generally speaking, we just want to run culture to prosperous worlds because they love that. They love it when they receive that. This world has 2 happy neighbors. It's actually remarkably close to leveling. Wait. That's prosperity. This turned out to be awesome. Like way better than I was expecting it to be. Okay, that's pretty good. I do love energy going to people planets. It's, you know, it sucks in terms of generating lots of unemployment, but it is real good in many other ways. So you just need your friends to level up, which cannot actually happen, no matter how we do this. So let's just send that over to where it'll do some good. And then... Yep, that's not happening. I gotta say, I think our space stations were a huge disappointment. Like, truly, truly awful this time. Maybe the worst we've ever seen. But I think we're done. I think that this is as good as this is getting. I do not necessarily feel... I think that this one had a lot of potential, and I do not know that I did all that well. Sorry, this says 1? Oh! Check that out. 300 stars. Would you look at that? Sure is a good thing I made the worst lab in history. Turned out to be one of the best labs in history. So with $16, is there a single move that we can make that even can matter, that has any possibility of mattering? I am flabbergasted that we managed to get a prosperous world out of this nonsense. I still kind of can't get over it. So especially anywhere that I could devote, anywhere that I could run a person to do a job would be lovely. I think we're probably pretty short on such opportunities though. So 3% pass shortages, 9% unemployment. Yeah. And a non-zero part of that unemployment, just like so many clones. We made so many clones. I think the answer is no. I think there's not really any valuable play. With $16, we could run a very short slipway. We could do a settle and then run a very short slipway, potentially, if that would help. What would this be? No, 15. But so we're talking about 5 plus 15. Actually, we can't afford that, and that makes a prosperous, or that makes an established world, which is worth a small amount of points and increases our score by 1%. So definitely worth doing. It was only worth doing because it was a two-way trade, because otherwise we would have suffered on that. But yeah, that's definitely. And then I think that's probably, with 1 month left and $2, I think that's probably where we're gonna have to call it. I don't know. We did get to 123 legacy points, which is cool. Actually, that number's still moving pretty fast. Oh, it's gonna stop short. It's gonna stop just short. Oh no. 29,132. Criminy. That's all I have to say about that. It's my entire stock of old-timey cuss words has run dry. The thing that's really frustrating about that is that's like one or two people misallocated, or like that's a single play mistake somewhere in that sequence would have put me over. Well, I think that's gonna have to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I am simultaneously heartened by what is a very good score and absolutely heartbroken. just phenomenally heartbroken. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all are still enjoying this as much as I am. This game is great. I love it very much. When you come back next time tomorrow, I don't know if I have it in me to go for it again. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. We'll see. When you come back next time tomorrow, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play some Slipways, that's for sure. And we'll see you then.